Are you someone who struggles with a lack of self-confidence or overall a low self-esteem? Good. Because I'm here to tell you that you're not the only one. A lot of us were not born with self-confidence, but the good news is this is something that you can work on. I'm going to share with you today tips that you can start using right now to improve, to build on your self-confidence. So, follow me and see you on the other side. Hi there, Rose here, the Happiness Warrior. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If this is your first time, know that on this channel we talk about everything self-love, self-confidence. I am teaching you how to take the journey inside of you so you can fall madly in love with yourself. Once you learn to love yourself unconditionally, you can love others as well. If this sounds interesting to you, keep watching. Subscribe to this channel so you can get more notifications. So let's get started. So self-confidence is one of the topics that you guys chose last week if you do follow me on Instagram. So last week we talked about self-awareness. Today we're talking about self-confidence. And we're going to talk about the fear energy versus the love energy. And last but not least, how to find the love of your life. Again, a topic you guys chose. So let's talk about self-confidence. What does it mean to have self-confidence? Self-confidence means being able to value and understand yourself and trusting in your own abilities to achieve your dreams, whether it's personal dreams, business dreams, goals, life goals, or business goals, right? So that's what confidence is about, understanding your own worth. Now, what are some benefits of practicing self-confidence? So there is a quote that I like very much. It says, confidence is the most important value a person can have. If you can see how great you are, how can anyone else see? Do you see what I mean? So if you're not able to see how great you are, how do you expect other people to see how great you are? So it starts with you. The confidence starts with you. So what are some of the things that you can start doing right now to practice self-confidence? If you've been following me for a while, know that a lot of these things, they work hand in hand together. Also know that if you never do the work and you watch all my videos, you watch all videos, you read all the books, you will never change. If you don't actually do the work and make the mistakes and take actions, I promise you, 20 years down the road, you're still going to be here and you're still going to say, yeah, I watch your videos, they don't work. Or I read the books, they don't work, because you didn't do the work, right? So you can't just watch me, you can't just read the books, you actually have to do it. What are some things that you can start doing right now? The most important thing, tip number 1, talk to yourself. Why is it important to talk to yourself? The things that you say to yourself, especially when there's no one around, are so important. If you don't believe me, Tony Robbins says it a lot, so I'm saying it too because it makes sense. Stand in front of a mirror every day and call yourself stupid and see how you're gonna feel after months, right? But you can also change the tape. So the way you talk to yourself is so important, because a lot of us, you grew up with a voice. You didn't have your own voice. So you were used to people telling you you're not enough, you're not this, you're not that, you're not that. So when you grew up, that voice became your voice. And it could be that a new voice. Maybe it was a loved one when you were married. It could be a boss, someone you work with, right? Now you have this voice that's constantly nagging at you. This inner bully telling you, oh, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not tall enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough. So change your voice. Talk to yourself with kindness, right? Encourage yourself. But practicing positive affirmation and talking to yourself in a positive way will help boost your self-confidence. Number 2, raise your level of curiosity. When we're curious, we're growing, we're learning. But if you're not curious, you most likely stay in your comfort zone. You do things that are comfortable. You talk about things that you already know about. Like, there's a comfort that comes with it. Yeah, and I'm sure that the comfort zone is comfortable, but we don't grow in our comfort zone. So raise your level of curiosity by learning something new, putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be teachable, right? Staying teachable, staying coachable makes it easy for you to be confident. Number 3, overcome self-doubt. Why is self-doubt important? Well, like I said before, if you've been practicing telling yourself you're not confident, well, Self-doubt has a lot to do with it, right? It's that of self. It's not necessarily that of other people towards you, it's that of you. Because the only person stopping you from achieving your goals is you. It doesn't matter what other people say or do. At the end of the day, you're stopping you either by being stuck in your mind and not taking actions at all, or you're stopping you by believing what other people say about you. So therefore, you're still stuck in your mind. And remember, if you've never heard me say this before, the first time you win or lose, it's in your mind. So if you think you cannot do it and you believe you cannot do it, you're not going to be able to do it, which is why it's important to overcome self-doubt. Don't doubt yourself. Let the rest of the world doubt you, but take action and take a risk. Take calculated risk, if you want to put it this way, but do something, right? Don't be so afraid that you're paralyzed by fear. I know fear can paralyze you, and if you think hard enough about something, you're gonna find excuses. And if you really think about it, remark, it only takes one reason, to do something that you really want to do, but something that you're not really committed to, you need 1,000 excuses. Think about it. Number 4, be true to yourself. A lot of this stuff are common knowledge. You don't need to be a genius to know this, that you need to be true to yourself. Like the quote says, everybody else is taken, right? So be true to yourself, be who you are. Every time you act out of character, every time you do something that's against who you really are, first of all, you're not gonna have the confidence to do it because that's not who you are. You're faking, and it's gonna be hard to fake and stay consistent, right? So by being who you are, you show up in life being you. And yes, I know you have flaws. I have flaws too. I'm working on myself every day. I fall off my wagon. I have flaws too. So I get it that you have flaws, but do you want people to accept you for who you are or who you're pretending to be? Because one day the mask is gonna fall, or even if the mask doesn't fall, people can see through the crack. People are not dumb. You may think they're stupid, but they're not as stupid as you think they are, and you're not as smart as you think you are. So pretending to be someone you're not is not only gonna make you nervous and anxious, you're not gonna be confident pretending to be someone you're not. So be true to yourself, be whoever you are, right? Like when the lights are off, who are you? I know we all have different versions of ourselves, but it's the consistency of it. Who are you? Be true to yourself, because that's gonna help you be confident. When you are who you are, you don't need to pretend. You don't need to compete with other people. No one can be. Let me tell you one thing. Nobody can be you like you can be you. So if this is a competition, you win. Promise. Guarantee. Tip number 5. Stop comparing yourself to others, especially these days with the current situation. You're probably spending more time in front of the TV, social media than maybe you did before, or maybe it's the same for you. I know it makes it difficult to not compare your life, but do not compare yourself to others. Do not compare yourself to others, because of tip number 3. No one can do you better than you can do you. If this is a competition, someone competing to be you, let me tell you, you'll win every time. So if you're trying to compete, make sure you're competing with the person that you were yesterday. Make sure you're competing to be better than you were yesterday. Make sure you're competing to improve, pay attention to who you are, evaluate your growth, pay attention to all the things you've done, right? Because you have to pay attention, like look at the roads that I've traveled, look at the things that I've been able to do. And you know yourself better than anyone. There are things that you've been able to accomplish, and no one knows how difficult it's been for you, but you know. Right? Don't compare yourself to anyone. No one is like you. You are like you. Everything you do it for you, not for other people. Compare yourself to yourself to become a better version of yourself, but do not compare yourself to nobody, because nobody compares to you. Let me tell you that. Tip number 6. Realize that you're enough. This is one of the things that we talk about, and it sounds, again, obvious. Right? This is corny. I know that. But you are enough. I know that you have flaws. I know that you're not perfect. I'm not either. I know that some days you feel ashamed for some things that you've done in the past, or some things that you did this morning, or some things that you did yesterday. I know that you make mistakes, but you are enough. With your mistake, with your flaws, with your imperfection, you are enough. And I know that you're working yourself, because if you're here watching this video and you've been watching up to this point, I know that you want to better yourself. I know that you're curious. I know you want to make a difference. So keep working at it. Keep working at it. Don't give up, because I promise you, you got this. Tip number 7, smile. I know I smile a lot, and if you've been following me or watching me just like in regular life, I smile a lot. I probably wake up with a smile, but this has been practiced because I was one of those people who was always sad. I was trying to hide. I thought people couldn't even read my facial expression, but I wasn't gonna pretend to smile when I wasn't happy. And so people used to always see sadness and they could read it on my face and they would say, why are you sad? Or why do you look angry? That used to bother me. But when I started smiling, it made people happy. People loved it. So sometimes I smile not necessarily for myself but for other people. There's nothing more amazing than to give someone your best smile, because you're smiling from your heart, right? Like, I don't know how to fake smile, which is good. So I always make sure when I do smile that it's real, it comes from my heart. It makes me feel good. I know it's well received by other people, and yeah, sometimes people don't smile back. It's okay, but it makes people feel good. It makes me feel good. And guess what? Smiling makes you feel good and makes you look good. Find one person who does not want to look good. I know you want to look good, so you better smile because it makes you look good. And I know at first it's weird to smile. It doesn't really make you feel comfortable, but the more we do things that make us uncomfortable, the more comfortable we become. But smiling brings confidence, because when you're smiling, you act differently. You're standing up straight. Okay, maybe you don't smile like that, but most people don't go like this, right? Like, you kind of have a better posture. You smile with confidence. It says confidence. And if you're not confident enough and you're only smiling to become more confident, then work at it. So there are a few tips here. Let's go through it. So number 1, talk to yourself. Practice positive self-talk. Number 2, raise your level of curiosity. Number 3, overcome self-doubt. Tip number 4, be true to yourself. Tip number 5, stop comparing yourself to others. Tip number 6, realize that you are enough, and I promise you, you are. And tip number 7, smile. I am so glad you were here today. Again, if you've watched this video up until this point, then I really advise you to subscribe to this channel so you can get more notification. I would love to hear your feedback. Like, what is your favorite tip? What do you love more out of all the tips that I've shared? Or is it one that works for you or that has worked for you in the past? Feel free to share down in the comment below so we can have a conversation about it. Remember, I want this to become a dialogue, so we're all talking, so we become a community. Don't forget to download your free copy of my ebook. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, or follow my Facebook page, or follow me on Twitter, Pinterest. However you would like to connect, I will be there. The links are all below. Once again, I appreciate your time. Take care of you. Love yourself. Have a wonderful day. See you later. Bye-bye.